Have you ever heard of a secret weapon that was just a simple trick? Not a new bomb or a fancy radar, but a little bit of clever thinking that changed the course of aerial combat. Today, we're diving into the incredible story of the de Havilland Mosquito and the one illegal engine tweak that made it untouchable. Picture this, it's World War II. The skies over Europe are a hornet's nest of dogfights. The British have this incredible new plane, the Mosquito. It's nicknamed the Wooden Wonder because it's built almost entirely out of wood, plywood and balsa to be exact. This makes it light, fast, and almost invisible to German radar. It's designed to be a fast bomber, so fast it doesn't need defensive guns. Its speed is its armor. For a while, the Mosquito reigned supreme, zipping past enemy fighters and delivering its payload with impunity. The Luftwaffe pilots are left fuming, unable to catch this wooden ghost. But technology in wartime evolves at a blistering pace. The Germans weren't just sitting around, they started rolling out upgraded versions of their best fighters, like the Focke-Wulf 190 and new variants of the Messerschmitt Bf 109. These planes were faster, climbed better, and were slowly but surely closing the performance gap. Suddenly, Mosquito crews started reporting more and more close calls. The untouchable bomber was becoming, well, touchable. The RAF faced a serious problem. If the Mosquito lost its speed advantage, it would become a sitting duck. The entire concept of the unarmed high-speed bomber was at risk. The Mosquito was powered by two legendary engines, the Rolls-Royce Merlins, the same power plants found in the Spitfire and Hurricane. These were marvels of engineering, but they were being pushed to their absolute limits. The official manuals from Rolls-Royce and the RAF laid out strict operational parameters, throttle settings, RPM limits, and boost pressures that pilots were forbidden to exceed. These rules were there for a very good reason, to prevent the engines from overheating, blowing a gasket, or literally tearing themselves apart in mid-air. Pushing an engine too hard could mean a catastrophic failure, and at 20,000 feet, that's a death sentence. But what if those limits were just a little conservative? That's what one man, a brilliant Rolls-Royce field service engineer named Ronnie Harker, started to wonder. Harker was embedded with the Mosquito squadrons, and he heard the pilots' concerns firsthand. He knew the planes and their Merlin engines inside and out. He wasn't just a desk-bound engineer. He was a hands-on problem solver who spent his days with the grease, the noise, and the men who flew the machines. Harker had a radical idea. He believed the Merlin engines had more to give. He'd seen them perform under stress and had a gut feeling they could handle more power, at least for short bursts. The key was the supercharger, a device that force-feeds air into the engine, allowing it to maintain power at high altitudes. The amount of air being forced in is called boost. The official limit was set, but Harker theorized they could safely increase it, unlocking a significant horsepower gain. So he decided to try something that was, by the book, completely illegal. He couldn't just tell pilots to ignore the rules. That would be insubordination and incredibly dangerous. He needed to prove his theory. In secret, Harker and a few trusted ground crew members got to work on a test Mosquito. They tinkered with the engine's supercharger gate. Think of it like a valve that controls the boost pressure. The standard system had a gate that physically stopped the pilot from pushing the throttle past the safe limit. Harker's modification was deceptively simple. He adjusted this gate, allowing the pilot to push the throttle just a little bit further, feeding the engine more boost than Rolls-Royce ever officially sanctioned. This wasn't just a wild guess. Harker did the calculations. He understood the metallurgy, the thermodynamics, the stress tolerances of the Merlin engine. He believed that for short periods, say a few minutes during a desperate chase, the engine could take the strain. It was a calculated risk, but one he felt was necessary. After modifying the test aircraft, the moment of truth arrived. A test pilot took the modified Mosquito up, and the results were staggering. When the pilot pushed the throttle past the old maximum, the plane didn't complain or shudder. It surged forward with a burst of speed it never had before. The illegal boost setting gave the Mosquito a critical edge, adding an extra 20 to 30 miles per hour to its top speed at altitude. That might not sound like much, but in a dogfight, it's the difference between life and death. It was the difference between escaping a Focke-Wulf 190 and being shot out of the sky. When Harker presented his findings, you can imagine the reaction. The top brass at the RAF and the engineers at Rolls-Royce were, to put it mildly, horrified. He had deliberately overridden safety protocols established by the best engineers in the country. There were concerns about engine reliability, wear and tear, and the potential for catastrophic failures. It was a huge institutional risk. But the evidence was undeniable, and the threat from the Luftwaffe was very real. Harker wasn't just some random mechanic with a wrench. He was a respected Rolls-Royce representative. His data was solid, and the test flights proved his point. After intense debate and further testing, the RAF officially, though quietly, sanctioned the modification. Ground crews were given new instructions on how to adjust the supercharger gates. It was never a widely publicized change. It remained a sort of in-the-know advantage. The impact was immediate. Mosquito squadrons equipped with the Harker boost suddenly found their edge again. German fighter pilots who thought they had a Mosquito cornered would be left in disbelief as the British bomber simply pulled away, disappearing into the clouds. Imagine the frustration in the Luftwaffe cockpit. You've got the enemy in your sights, you're closing in, and then it just accelerates. It defied their understanding of the Mosquito's capabilities. They had no idea that a simple, unauthorized tweak to an engine setting had completely rewritten the rules of engagement. This small but brilliant modification is a perfect example of the ingenuity that thrived under pressure during the war. It wasn't about building a whole new airplane. It was about optimizing the incredible machine they already had. It was a testament to people like Ronnie Harker, the unsung heroes on the ground who knew their equipment so intimately that they could see potential where others only saw regulations. His illegal trick saved countless lives and ensured the wooden wonder remained a thorn in the side of the Third Reich until the very end of the war. It proves that sometimes the greatest weapon isn't a bomb or a gun, but a little bit of clever, rule-bending genius. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this piece of hidden history, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the fascinating stories of engineering and war. Let us know in the comments what other incredible machines or moments you'd like to hear about. Until next time, stay curious.